Hi guys, greetings from snowy Ohio once again. We got some snow overnight. I think every time I film here lately, we get snow the night before for some reason. But yeah, here we are, April 2nd, and we got probably 4 to 5 inches of snow last night. But it will probably disappear fast. The sun's out, and with the sun being warmer, it will probably melt soon. Not gonna lie, it does look nice clinging to the branches and the trees and with the sun shining on it. But yeah, I'm just so ready for spring. I want to see green out there, not white. But anyway, I'm going to share with you today about another thrift store makeover that I'm going to be doing. As you probably know by now, I love to thrift. I like to find good deals and take something home that needs some attention or a makeover. And I've always been looking lately for a wooden, like an ice cream bucket. I did find one in a local thrift store. I paid $15 for it. I kind of wished it was less, but they're kind of hard to find, so I was willing to pay that price. And it does look kind of new, so my goal is to make it look old and chippy. And I'm going to be putting an image, like a French words, quote, whatever, on here using parchment paper. I don't know if you guys have ever tried that or not. I haven't recently. Since I have my Silhouette Cameo, I often use that for words or images or whatever. But I thought for this look, I want the more fadey, lettering, and I wanted to show you guys how easy it is to actually use parchment paper to transfer an image. And I'm sure a lot of you have tried this already, but this is what I want to do with this, so I thought I'd share it with you in case you want to try something like this on your own. And but the first thing I'm going to do with this bucket is paint it dark brown. I want a dark base on it, and then that way if I put my top coat on, I can rub that through and I have dark coming out underneath instead of this color here. So I'm going to use spray paint to do that. I have a Rust-Oleum dark brown spray paint here, so I'm going to take it downstairs, and I have this room where I spray paint. I open some windows and close all the doors, and I paint in there. And so I'm going to do that, and as that dries, I'll probably work on coming up with a design, what I want to use for the image on here. So yeah, follow me as I work on this, and hopefully it'll turn out okay. Okay, so I did decide to paint out here after all. It's just nicer. You don't have to worry about fumes of an oil-based paint, and I'll probably just take the bucket inside to dry then. So as I wait on that pail to dry, I'm going to talk a little bit about using parchment paper, printing on it. In the past, I would always just run it through my printer on its own, and I had a really bad experience with it one time where it actually jammed up inside the printer, wrapped around a little bar, and I had to take the whole printer apart to get it out. I almost ruined my printer. So now I'm kind of careful. I usually actually tape a piece of parchment paper onto a piece of copy paper just to give it more body, and it won't jam up. It probably won't jam up at all if you do that. So that's what I'm going to do today, just to be safe. A really good place to get images and quotes from is a website called The Graphics Fairy, and I will link that below in case you're interested. But yeah, that's where I'm going to get my French country quote today. And I'm going to wait to print it onto this paper here until the bucket is actually ready and dry and ready for the image, because with parchment paper you actually want your ink to be slightly damp when applying. So but yeah, I have everything ready here. It's just a matter of waiting on that pail to dry. Okay, so I don't have a lot of patience when it comes to drying paint, and I kind of forgot how long it takes to dry an oil-based paint, spray paint, especially if it's gloss. I think it just takes even longer. And so this is actually still sticky to the touch. I've had fans on the thing for a couple hours, and it's still, it's dried more than it was, but it still feels sticky. So I'm going to break a few rules and go ahead and apply my white paint. And I know from past experience sometimes it actually can have a nice effect if you apply the next coat without the first one being completely dry. It might crack it up a bit, and that's just the look I want. I want it chippy and cracked and old looking. So I'm going to go ahead and just see what happens here. And yeah, I'm using a chalk paint from Walmart. It's Kills brand, and I've used it before on some other projects I shared on my videos here. But yeah, I still have some of this left, so I'm going to use this, and I'm just going to apply it with a bristle brush. And but before I do that, I'm actually going to apply Vaseline. You guys may have heard how this works, but if you apply like a Vaseline along the edges or anywhere you want it to look chippy and distressed, it's so much easier to then, you know, wipe off the white paint and have that look than if you just have to sand and sand to get that look, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use this, and I'll zoom the camera in so you can see better, and yeah, let's see what happens. Giving the bucket 2 coats of paint. I thought with just one I kind of saw all the brush strokes. I didn't want that, so I gave it 2, and it did crack beautifully. I'm really impressed with that. Yeah, it just has this nice crackly finish, and so now I'm going to take a wet rag and just go over the edges like this and rub that Vaseline off, and that will bring some more of that dark brown base paint out. So yeah, we'll see how it looks. Yeah, so you basically just have to rub the paint, and you can soon see where the Vaseline was at. It'll just come right off. So the bucket is nice and dry now, and I think it's ready for my French quote here. I always print out my designs onto regular copy paper first before the parchment paper, just so I can hold it up against the surface and make sure, you know, everything is going to fit, and even though it's, you know, in reverse, I can still tell that the words will nicely fit in here between these 2 strips of metal here. And what's nice is I can actually use the strips as a guide to, you know, to tape it down then once I have it on the parchment paper, and then rub it off onto the wood. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now, is go ahead and print that onto the parchment paper, and we'll go from there. So here is the end result. I'm really impressed with it. I like how the words turned out. They're kind of faded. I don't know if you can tell from there what it says, but I did want that look, and I'm still going to give it a coat of this clear spray paint, and that actually tends to bring out more of the black in the letters, like on words. So I think once I put that coat on, it will kind of bring it out more too. But yeah, I think everything went well, and it looks old. That's what I wanted, and maybe I'll use it for a flower pot for our porch for this summer. I'm not sure yet. If I do that, I'd probably put a plastic liner inside to protect the wood. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, thanks so much for watching, and have a great week.